you're eating well, you're exercising, but why aren't I losing weight? It's on the questions of everyone's lips, isn't it, when they're on a program? And it gets really frustrating, isn't it, when you're just not losing the weight. You're doing all the right things, but there's just, things aren't budging. What's going on? So and the scales just aren't moving or budging. It's can be frustrating. There's so many reasons why, but today we're just going to talk about a couple of reasons why that you could kind of work on. But it's not about doing more, it's about doing the little things, and the little things that can creep in as well too. So I'm just going to talk about two things today. I'm just going to talk about portion sizes. So portion sizes are really, really important. And when you're losing weight, ideally you want to be weighing the food, right? Because once you lose weight, you don't have to be so strict and all that sort of thing. But when you really want to get to your goal, you really need to put some things in place. So when I'm talking to my clients, and what I get them to do is actually measure the food. It doesn't have to be forever, but it's only while you're losing your weight, all right? Because it is really important to get this right. And if you don't get it right, because sometimes people, the portion sizes, over time just get bigger and bigger and bigger, don't they? So, you sort of think you're having small meals, but when you look back, it's like, oh, that's quite a lot of food there, and over time that can change as well too. So, because, and there's eating for weight loss, and then there's eating for health as well too. So sometimes people just think they're eating healthy, so they'll eat lots of fruits and vegetables, but way too much. And then they're wondering why they're not losing weight, because there's still a lot of calories or carbs and, in healthy food, and so we've got to be mindful of that. And because things can just creep up and up. But the second thing is actually the weekends can undo things, definitely, for sure. Let's face it, we're out of routine. We're eating takeaways, going out for dinner, people are dropping around, a few drinks, and so when you think about it, if you just let the weekends go by, and not integrate this on the weekends, not saying you have to be, perfect every weekend, but that's 2 days out of 7, right? 2 days out of 7 where you've gone off plan and you're eating out. And so that sort of way of thinking and going towards your health is going to it's not going to turn into the best, because 2 days out of 7, 2 days out of the 5, 7, you're not eating well, let's face it, so you have to be a little bit organized for the weekend. But so what you have with the weekends, you have to integrate a holistic way of living, or healthy. It's integrated health, right? So you've got to integrate this healthy plan permanently. I'm not saying you have to be perfect, but you have to keep working on this as a mindset moving forward, or else the weekends will turn to beep, shit, whatever it is, right? So you gotta be mindful. There'll be some weekends that you'll be able to kind of stay to plan, and some weekends not, or you might have to just adjust things for yourself. Find healthy alternatives. There's all sorts of things that you've got to do. But probably the third thing is, really, it's not all about the kilos either. It is when you're wanting to lose weight, you want to look at other compositions, body compositions, like body fat, muscle mass, cell hydration, measurements, all that sort of thing. A couple of weeks ago, I had a client who'd hardly lost anything on the kilos, right? On the kilos, but she'd lost a ton of measurements. So you've got to be measuring on all different levels, not just the kilos, because that'll do your head in. So, so they're just a few small changes that you can make that actually will make a big difference in the end. All right. So just, looking at portion sizes and, the weekends, what do they look like? Are they, 100% bad every, is there some improvements you can do on those weekends as well? And look, there are many reasons why, why you wouldn't be losing weight. But as I said, you get some body compositions or do measurements and that as well, so you're heading in the right direction. So, but have a great week, and we will see you next week. Thanks, guys.